Hello, Ian.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Okay, just fine. Here on air with you. So, first of all, tell me about your wonderful book, Mercy Beast. So many stories on it.
Yeah, well, this is a book that I wrote a couple of years ago now. It took me about 3 years to write, and I just decided that it was time to get all of my story down on paper before I forget it, mainly.
Yeah.
And because people are always asking me, to tell the stories of what I've done and stuff, and it just seemed a lot easier to write a book and a good way to kind of put closure on that stage of my career, if you like, So yeah, it just seemed like a good idea to do at that time.
Yeah, and what about your collaboration with the legendary Crazy Horse? Your memories,
Yeah, well, that was when I was going to do my second album, my second solo album.
Yeah.
In 1993.
93.
And I had a couple of songs that sounded a bit like Neil Young and Crazy Horse.
Yeah.
So I said to my record company, would there be any chance of getting Neil Young's band to play on it? And at the time, Neil Young was working with Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
So it was a very, very lucky time for me to try and get Neil's band, because they weren't working for just at that precise moment in time. And we got together and we made that record, and then they came over and we did some shows, and we had a great time, and I still get Christmas cards off them.
Cool. Amazing album. Fantastic album.
Thank you.
Yeah, really, you're welcome. Let's go back to Liverpool, Ian, for a while. Can you tell some of your memories, maybe from Ringo Starr, legend, of course?
Yeah, it's funny you should say that, actually, because Ringo Starr's in the news today, because they are about to demolish the house that he spent the first 3 months of his life in Liverpool, and so he's been on the news. But I played with him. I played bass in his all-star band on a couple of shows in 2002.
Yeah.
We played the Red Cross Ball in Monaco, which is where he lives. He lives right next door to where we played, and we did another show at a place called Cowdray Park in Sussex in England.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic, getting to play Beatles songs in a band with one of the Beatles was an amazing experience.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And what about Liverpool scene in the 80s? The Teardrop Explodes, Echo and the Bunnymen, of course, I Said It Works. Looking for a distance now,
Yes. Sorry, what was the question?
I'm talking about the Liverpool music scene back in the 80s. Can you give us a picture, an inside story, if you wish?
Yeah, it was exciting. We were young. We were all in our early 20s, and there was a lot of different bands in Liverpool at that time, and we were all very different from each other. The thing is that when the first Liverpool music thing broke in the 60s, everybody sounded very similar.
Yeah.
There was what they would call a Mersey beat sound.
Yeah.
Everybody had the same look and the same sort of songs, and very similar sounding. But the second time it came around, everybody sounded very different. And the thing that we wanted to make sure that we did was that we didn't sound anything at all like the Beatles. That was the thing that we didn't want. So it was a great time, very exciting, and a lot of great bands came out of that time.
Ian, speaking of 60s and bands like Jerry and the Pacemakers, I'm a big fan of Liverpool. I'm talking about the football club. So Liverpool,
LFC.
Yeah, Liverpool or Everton for you.
Yeah.
Are you an Everton fan, maybe, or Liverpool?
If I have to come down on one side of it, I suppose I'd have to say that I was an LFC supporter, but I'm not a very passionate football fan.
I guess so.
It's not it's not life and death to me. I've got a big problem with a lot of the footballers.
You're right.
I think they get paid far too much money and they don't perform.
Big business, yeah. You're right. You're sure right. Ian, any plan for an Athens gig, maybe, in the future?
I would love to. I just need to find a promoter who likes my music, and I'll be happy to come over and play. Perhaps you could help me out.
Of course, be sure. You have a very devoted audience here, you know, for many years.
Great.
Yeah, it's going to be great to see you here.
Fantastic.
Okay, and thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your interview.
And let's keep in touch.
Always. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.